Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I promised you guys, in addition to Marvel, DC, and Star Wars content, which I haven't made any Star Wars videos, and I'm aware I was gonna do one today, but I decided to mix it up a little bit. We're gonna come at it with a new series that I talked about doing before. This is gonna be a series where mm, we talk about other some classic movies, some well-received movies, just other movies that are not necessarily Marvel, Star Wars, DC, kind of other things as well. And I should mention this isn't always going to be this specific type of movie, but I'm sure you can tell by the title. I don't know why I'm keeping it a surprise. Pulp Fiction is the movie that I decided to review today. I've never watched it before, um, so I watched it yesterday, and I allowed myself to kind of sit with it, and I wanted to talk about it. Um, I was just gonna mention that it doesn't always have to be this like very well received movie. For example, I probably will review some like the Alien franchise, and I will review every movie, and some of those movies suck. I know, but I've never watched some of them. Maybe I'm watching some of it for the second time, and it's been a long time. It's just content like that. And I promise you guys, I'll probably post more often because I really want to get a Star Wars thing going. We're not gonna talk about DC yet for the most part. I'll bring up some news videos, but I want to be kind of um fresh when the DCU comes out. And of course, we'll do some MCU stuff, but it's mostly gonna be going in order, kind of reviewing everything. We'll talk about my thoughts on projects in a very short manner. Like my video next week will probably, or in a couple days, we'll probably talk about the Marvels and Loki season 2. But we're also going to be talking about the 1967 Spider-Man season 1 because I'm watching through that right now. So that's gonna be the premise, but then I'm gonna like add a little bit of like stuff that's going on right now. So let's talk about Pulp Fiction now that I've kind of gotten the 2 minute intro out of the way. I just want to say that I think the movie is really, really, really good. I understand the hype. I understand why everyone loves it. This is a really well done movie. It's my first ever Quentin Tarantino movie, so I wasn't really sure how this was gonna go down. I expected to enjoy it because I've heard a lot of people enjoy it, but I wasn't sure if this was gonna be one of my favorites because it's not. It doesn't really seem like it would be. Just based on premise alone, I don't really know that much about it. I didn't know anything about it going in. I all I knew is that it was. I did know one thing. It was filmed, or it was released in out of chronological order. So the movie takes place, at different times depending on what part of the movie you're in. There's different stories that overlap. So there's three main storylines from what I could gather: storyline with Vincent Vega, storyline with Butch, and storyline with Jules. Forgive me, I don't remember Jules' last name. Now Vega's played by John Travolta. Butch is played by Bruce Willis, and Samuel L. Jackson plays Jules. So Jules and Vega are kind of like the partners in crime, so to speak. They call them business partners, but they're working for like a mob boss, from what I can gather. I forget his name. Mm, Marcellus. There we go. They're working for Marcellus. And then Butch kind of also works for Marcellus, but his storylines where he kind of like um, deviates from that a little bit. I should mention the spoilers. This movie's been out for 30 years, so probably get on it if you haven't already. But there is spoilers, obviously. Um, I guess we should probably talk about what I didn't like because there's less of that, and that will kind of be how we formulate this review. My main issue with the movie is about an hour left into the movie. They have this really comedic part where there's this guy named the Wolf, and he's kind of like helping Vega and Jules clean up their car because Vega accidentally shot a gun and killed someone who was working with them accidentally. So like, shit, we gotta fix it. We gotta fix up what we're doing. So they go to Quentin Tarantino's house, which is that's not his actual character's name, but it's played by Quentin Tarantino. I forget his name. That's my bad. But um, he's freaking out. So they get the fox to come, the wolf. It's not the fox, the wolf to come, help them clean the car, and just decide, hey, what the hell are we gonna do? We got to get this car on the road, because Tarantino's wife is gonna get home, and she's gonna be upset and divorce him on the spot because he's got mobsters in his freaking house or gangsters or whatever. So they clean up the car, but this whole scene takes up like half. It might not take up half an hour, but it feels like it takes up half an hour. And the movie's 2.5 hours long. My main criticism is that I think as good as the scene is, because it's still good, to minimize the runtime, because 2.5 hours is kind of a lot, and if you're not telling a whole story there, I personally would cut it down a little bit. If you take out like 20 minutes of it, it could still be a really fun sequence that just doesn't last as long. And of course, this is sort of a hindrance to Jules's story. And I hate doing that because I love Samuel L. Jackson. But I think you could even add back the runtime by expanding other parts, right? I would love to have gotten a little bit of a prelude to the movie where we kind of really understand what's going on. Um, I don't mind that what we learn in the if you've watched the movie, there's this case and it's got stuff in it, and we don't really know what it is, but Marcellus really wants it. And that's kind of the whole premise of the entire movie. And then for me, I gotta grab water. Sorry. For me, it was kind of like water just went everywhere. What the hell? Oh my god, that was crazy. Kind of like how blood went everywhere in the car. See what I did there? Anyway, I think that I enjoy the idea of the case. We don't know what's in the case. That's fine. I don't need to know. It's something mysterious, and that's all that matters. I think though understanding more context behind the mob, like what is even really going on, how did Marcellus become so powerful? Getting like a 20-minute prelude to the whole movie could have been cool. Not saying that that would have made the movie better. That's probably what I would have done. I'm not a filmmaker. I don't know. Overall, this is really the only place where the movie really doesn't hit home for me. The only other thing I think of is that maybe you could expand Vega's storyline a little bit more. He kind of just dies abruptly in Butch's story and eventually comes back in the later scenes, but you know he's dead. I don't love that. I don't love that scene when he just gets shot and killed. It's kind of like it's like ah man he died, but then like his story gets told after the fact. It's genius in some ways. It's bad in others. Um, just I don't know. I think overall that's probably the only thing I would really change is make Vega and shoot Mia. I would have their story be longer. I suppose that's all I could really think of. But yeah, I'm gonna break out into a coughing fit probably. I'm still a little sick. I'm doing my best. Trying to do this review. Anyway, I gave it a 9 out of 10. I think that every other part of the movie is really, really good. I love Butch's story. It was so well done. And I didn't really care for his character before then because you didn't really even see him. It was amazing. Maybe a little underutilization of Christopher Walken, but otherwise, this I can't even get mad. Like this movie is really, really good. A couple things, just small tweaks, and I think this movie would have been a 10 out of 10. And believe me, it was such a breath of fresh air after that Captain America serial. So I needed that. I really did. Well, as you can see, I'm still under the weather a little bit, but I'm gonna keep trying to post videos because I love doing it. I love talking with you guys. Let me know what you thought of Pulp Fiction. If you've watched it, I'm sure you probably have. You like film. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below. Any other movies you want me to review, you know, if you want me to talk about a certain Star Wars, Marvel, DC topic, I'll review most of the movies and stuff. But if you want me to talk about a specific thing, just holler. Love you all. See you next time. Bye bye.